Shalom, family. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm going to put on some music and give people a chance to come in, and then we'll get started. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Hmm. No, all right, hold on.
Switch to Shopify and sell smarter at every stage of your business. Take full control of your brand.
Y'all, I'm now pissed off. They put an ad on my damn intro. YouTube, you got a lot of nerve, man. Okay. So, y'all, we're going to get an update on Breonna Taylor. Unfortunately, the judge declared the trial that Brett Hankinson was on a mistrial. Now, you got to understand this is Tennessee, and from what I understand, it was a mostly all white jury, which I think should be outlawed. There should be no all white jury because America's not an all white country. And I'm not even sure if Breonna Taylor lived in an all white neighborhood. You know, I'm not sure if where she lived, it was even like that. So, I mean, I know there's a lot of our people in Memphis. It's a lot of people that live there that's melanated. So, yeah, I mean, we got to always remember where we are. And we got to also remember how badly rigged up the system is. It is rigged, and it's always been rigged. Okay. So, I had a situation on my video about Dexter Wade, the one that I premiered this morning, and I want to address that. Somebody came on there and made some accusations against me, and I did respond. But let me just tell each and every one of you this. YouTube creators, like myself and many others, do not have the ability to shadow ban. If you are shadow banned, that is YouTube doing it, not the YouTube creator. I don't have nothing to shadow ban you with. So someone told me I shadow banned them, which I absolutely can't shadow ban you. I don't have no control over any of your accounts. So therefore I can't shadow ban you. And then he proceeded to, I guess, imply I was some kind of raccoon. I'm not a raccoon. Like, hey, I don't even know who the hell you are. And on top of that, when I went to look at his account, I never even blocked him. So his issue was with YouTube, not me. But I guess they thought they were going to come at me like that. I don't know. But yes, I do believe a lot of my subscribers, especially those that have a problem leaving comments, having a problem coming on to live streams, that's YouTube doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't have the ability to do that. All right. And think about it. If I shadow banned you, how did you leave that comment in my comment section? Wouldn't you be prevented from doing that as well? So anyway, moving on. Let's get into this story, y'all. I'm going to show you a video and then I'll get more into a commentary. All right. Let me share my screen. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody can see the screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Well, I don't know what they were trying to imply, but yeah, I mean, I'm like, well, how did you leave a comment if I banned you? Okay, you wouldn't be able to leave a comment. Okay, let's get started. Thank you, y'all. Okay.
Just hours ago, a jury found former LMPD officer Brett Hankinson not guilty on 3 counts of wanton endangerment. And it's important to note tonight, Hankinson was not charged in Taylor's death.
The charges stemmed from shots he fired that went into a neighboring apartment that night. WLKY's Mark Vanderhoff has been following this trial since it began last week and now joins us live from outside the courtroom. Mark, what was the reaction inside the courtroom today?
And Jennifer, Stefan, it was absolute silence. The courtroom was packed with Taylor's family and others, many of whom were shaking their heads in disappointment, but the judge had warned against any outbursts. And there were about a dozen sheriff's deputies who were right here outside the courtroom and inside the courtroom. Even Hankison himself was silent.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Brett Hankison, not guilty of wanton endangerment first degree.
Brett Hankison was visibly emotional as the judge read the verdict, and he wiped his eyes as the courtroom cleared out. His attorney, Stu Matthews, spoke on his behalf.
Justice was done. The verdict was proper, and we're thrilled.
Breonna Taylor's family, including her mother, declined to speak as they left the courtroom. Hankison was not on trial for Taylor's death. He was facing 3 counts of wanton endangerment for shots he fired that entered an apartment next door to Taylor's.
I'm sort of at a loss for words right now, but I think absolutely Brett was, the jury felt like, you go out and perform your duty and your brother officer gets shot and you've got a right to defend yourself. Simple as that.
Hankison and other officers were serving a search warrant on Taylor's apartment on March 13th, 2020. When police rammed down her door, her boyfriend fired a single shot, striking former Sergeant John Mattingly. Hankison ran around to the side of Taylor's apartment and began firing into a sliding glass door, even though he couldn't see what was behind it. 3 of the 10 bullets Hankison fired went into a neighboring apartment with 3 people inside. The prosecutor spoke briefly after the verdict.
We don't have any further comment. We respect the jury's verdict.
During the trial, Hankison apologized to the family in the apartment next to Taylor's and said Taylor, quote, did not have to die that night. His attorney echoed that sentiment.
I told Breonna Taylor's family in closing argument, I tried to, that it was a terrible tragedy. It shouldn't have happened, but it did. And as I said in the closing argument, it all revolves back to Kenny Walker.
No, it doesn't.
And I would stand by that.
Okay, this dude is full of crap. Stop. Did you hear what his attorney did? Brett Hankison's attorney is trying to put Breonna Taylor's death on Kenneth Walker. It is not Kenneth Walker's fault. Y'all went over to Breonna Taylor's apartment based on a scenario, a lie that a cop made up that drugs were there. That is who is at fault, not Kenneth Walker. So what you're saying is the police officer was justified because he was trying to protect other cops, but Kenneth Walker was not justified for trying to protect himself and Breonna Taylor? Is that what he was trying to say? No, it was not him. And I did not like what he said at the end, trying to push the whole thing on Kenneth Walker. But see, Kenneth Walker is still suing on the state and federal level. That has not been resolved yet. He's still suing. He got litigation against the city, the police department, on both the state and federal level. So let's get into this story. It's not good no matter how you look at it. So the judge has declared this a mistrial. And, unfortunately, like I said, it was a mostly all-white jury. This was in federal court. And it was Thursday afternoon yesterday when the jury was in deadlock on the civil rights charges against the Louisville police officer who fired the stray bullets, in a deadly raid that left Breonna Taylor dead. Brett Hankison was charged, and y'all know what, they were charging him for shooting into the neighbor's house. Now, how stupid can you be? You are wildly shooting 10 shots into Breonna Taylor's neighbor's house, and 3 people were in that house. And this jury said he wasn't guilty of anything. I said, yeah, as soon as I heard that, I said, the jury must have looked like him. That's why. The 12-member, mostly white jury struggled to reach a verdict over several days. So on Thursday afternoon, they sent a note to the judge saying that they were at an impasse. U.S. District Judge Rebecca Grady Jennings urged them to keep trying, and they returned to deliberations. The judge reported that there were elevated voices coming from the jury room at times during deliberations this week, and court security officials had to visit the room. Jurors told the judge Thursday they were deadlocked on both counts against Hankinson and could not come to a decision. The mistrial could result in a retrial of Hankinson, but it would be determined by federal prosecutors at a later date. Y'all, I don't think they're going to try this man again. I could be wrong about that, but I'm just telling you, I think they're going to just let this go. I do. Hankinson, 47, was acquitted by a Kentucky jury last year on wanted endangerment charges. State prosecutors allege that he illegally put Taylor's neighbors in danger. Months after his acquittal last year, the U.S. Department of Justice brought new charges against Hankinson, along with a group of other officers involved in crafting the warrant. Yes, because you remember they got the warrant based on a lie. They lied to the judge in order to get the warrant. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said Taylor, a 26-year-old Black woman studying to be a nurse, should be alive today when he announced the federal charges in August of 2022. The charges Hankinson faced carried a maximum sentence of life in prison. And you heard what the verdict, they pretty much let him go. They found him not guilty. The judge said it's a mistrial. They can retry him, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, y'all, but I don't think he's going to go to trial again. I really don't. I mean, I'll be the first to admit if I'm wrong, but I don't see it. Mhm. Yeah, and I mean, and he's not even, they're doing the same thing that Daniel Cameron, boy, may he meet the devil real soon. I really I can't stand Daniel Cameron and the way he did Breonna Taylor. To this very day, this man don't want to go after the police. In fact, while he was on the campaign trail, I looked at one of his videos and he was saying, oh no, I support the police 100%. I support the police. I said, yeah, sure you do. And you support them to the point where you won't even give Breonna Taylor her due process in court. He has already determined that she didn't deserve that. And that's why after all that stuff went on with the grand jury, he was on Twitter back then, and a lot of people were accusing him of disliking Black women. He really got bombarded bad by Black Twitter back during that time. They really came at him hard. And of course, he denied the whole thing, but many people to this very day accuse him of hating Black women. That's why he did what he did to Breonna Taylor. Mhm. Well, yeah, Pensy Lola, God bless, you're right, double jeopardy. That's why I don't believe they're gonna bring this back up again with Brett Hankinson. They already brought him before the grand jury, and now they had him in federal court, and he was found not guilty by the grand jury, and he's now in a mistrial on the federal level. They're not bringing this back a third time. They're not. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. It really is. I feel bad for Breonna Taylor's family. How much more do you want these people to take? Here in all this time, all they're trying to do is get justice for what happened to Breonna Taylor, and they can't seem to get any. They can't get any. And it shouldn't be this way at all. It should not be this way. In a just society, she would get her day in court, but we're in this society, y'all. We're in this society. This society don't care whether they're fair to us or not. They don't give a crap about that. They don't care at all. hmm So the other cops that's involved, Mattingly and Meany and all of them, they should be coming up next. So they got Brett Hankinson out the way, so they got the others that are coming up next. All I know is nobody has gone down for the death of Breonna Taylor as of yet. Nobody. Nobody is held accountable, and nobody's in jail for it. That's all I know. Victim rights advocates, I don't know. It seems like the only advocates I see are the ones for exonerations, but like I said to y'all before, that's a joke in itself. The same people putting them behind bars for a crime that never happened are the same ones that are getting them out. I mean, no, 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 no. That I don't think so. They don't get no pat on the back for that. Well, I don't look for those things, like victim right advocates, just like the NRA with all of our people getting shot out on the street, you don't hear a word from them. You don't hear, or when it comes down to us having guns and our gun rights, they stay silent. Which is very clear. They don't want us part of their organization. That's why they stay silent. They don't want us in the NRA. But you know what the funny part? For like the last couple of years, every few months, I'll get something in the mail from the NRA. I have for the last few years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I got my live stream, which I got to post, and I'm going to talk about, the woman that said the biggest threat to Israel are the black youth here in America, or the biggest threat to them. I'm going to be doing that one tomorrow. So I'll be getting that set up today. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I definitely want to touch on that. And yes, I've gotten multiple emails about Cassie and P. Diddy, and I will be talking about that tonight. I'm going to do a video on that and post it around midnight. You know, to be honest with you, I think she is telling the truth. I've heard some really treacherous things about Diddy over the years. And it just seems like there's a lot of dead bodies around this man. And it's people I just never heard of having a lot of health problems, but they suddenly have health problems and die around him. So, you know, a lot of people think it starts with Kim Porter, but actually it starts with Heavy D. It starts with Heavy D. Before Heavy D died, Heavy D was going to put out a tell all book. And all of a sudden, he's gone. And then Kim Porter's gone. She was going to put out a tell all book and she's gone. So Cassie, I guess she figured she wasn't going that route. She was going to just sue. No, those kids are with him. Because remember, he had, I believe, a son. They had 3 kids together. They had a son and twin daughters, him and Kim Porter. Now, he had a child even before then. He had a woman, and some of y'all might remember this back in the day. Before Kim Porter, there was a woman by the name of Misha. And from what I understand, he used to beat the hell out of her too. And you heard it, right? Tupac. Thank you, Katrina. Yeah, Tupac. You hear all the stuff that's coming out from Keefe D saying that Diddy was involved in that. He just comes up a lot when it comes down to, yes, I'll be sure too. Thank you, Renz G. Yes, I'll be sure. The same one. I'll be sure all of a sudden gets real sick and came close to dying, but he held on. Christopher Williams. Yep. It's a lot of people, and to be honest with you, y'all, Diddy is one of these people I never quite could feel. I don't know about y'all, but I just never, when it comes down to rappers, there were rappers I loved. Heavy D was one of my favorites back in the day. I used to love Heavy D and the Boys. But Diddy, nah. Even when he was back in his Puff Daddy days, I wasn't into him even then. I just wasn't into him. Oh yeah, Heavy D and the Boys. Oh yeah. Mr. Big Stuff. Oh man, I used to play the hell out of this song. I used to love it so much. Yeah, I don't know. I just could not. I don't know. Diddy is just one of those people I just never gravitated towards when it came down to rappers. Yep, I remember that about I'll Be Sure. Mm-hmm. And yep, Jamie Foxx too. That's right, dark skinned brother. Jamie Foxx too. When he starts saying disparaging things about Diddy, all of a sudden he gets sick. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of people having opinions about this, but one thing that has been corroborated is, he blew up Kid Cudi's car because, he was seeing Cassie for a little while and he pretty much confirmed it. He said, no, that's true. His car did get blown up. Yeah, the only one in the industry that I have seen is 50 Cent. 50 Cent ain't afraid to come out in the media and talk trash about Diddy. He's about the only one I see doing it. The rest of them, they pretty much hold back. But 50 Cent will come out and drag Diddy. He ain't afraid to do it. He is probably one of the few that's not afraid to do it. I've seen him do it for like the last few years. He will drag him in a heartbeat. Somebody wrote something very interesting. The last story I did on Diddy, because Keefe D, when he got arrested in Las Vegas, said that, Diddy was involved, and someone said they did not like Diddy. Diddy had a Hamite spirit on him. I said, I never thought about that, but that was an interesting spin on it. I never heard that one from anyone else. Mm-hmm. Because he even did all them people wrong. Remember when he had that show Making the Band and something like that? And all those people on his show, he did them all wrong. So yeah, he got a trail of destruction. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does, dark skinned brother. He really does. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let you go. And I'll see most of some of you tomorrow for Bible study, and hopefully the rest of you will show up for my other live stream. I'm going to definitely address the one saying that the black youth is their biggest threat to Israel. Yeah, well, if you're going to put that out there, then I have every right to respond, and I will. So, y'all, please enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Shalom, family.